To build your bikes in your cycling studio, you'll use the Rooms tab in the Club Admin section of the Stages Cloud menu. Once you click into that, you simply choose your location and details. You're given 4 options from this screen: General, Room Type, Screens, and Bikes. General shows you your room name and if you have any integrations. Room Type allows you to see the rooms created for you. Both of these options will be filled out and completed by our systems administrator at the time of setup. You won't need to do anything else. The next option is Screens. This shows your screen information. The only thing you need to do here is make sure the rows and columns match your grid configuration that we'll set up in a minute. And to do that, you press Edit. For our purposes, I know that my bike layout needs 4 rows and 3 columns, so I'll set that here. Please don't touch the drop-down menu for the room or screen names here, as that is our system administrator's duty. The Bikes link is where you'll spend most of your time building your cycle studio. When you click on Bikes, you get an empty grid upon which you'll build. We already know from above that I want my studio to have 4 rows and 3 columns. We recommend making this as close to the physical studio layout as possible. This layout is what your members will see when they go to book a bike in your studio. So you'll want them to see the studio from an aerial view as the bikes physically sit, the top row being the front row in the studio, the bottom row being the back row, etc. The one task that must be complete before you start this process is gathering bike numbers and anti-D numbers from each bike. The anti-D number is located on a sticker on the power meter, which is located on the left pedal crank. In my 10 bike studio, I have chosen a 4x3 grid because I want the top row to hold the instructor bike, and then use the 3x3 grid to put in the member bikes. Bike 1 is the instructor bike, and I'll add the anti-D number to that. All of my bikes are Watt bikes, and I want all my bikes enabled, so I'll be sure those are correctly checked. Then press Create. Do this for each remaining bike in your studio, placing it just where you want it and making sure you are recording the anti-D number correctly. You know if you input the number incorrectly if the gauge of a bike doesn't show up on the screen. You simply come back to this page, open the bike number not showing, and check the anti-D number here. Now that our studio is set up how we want it, we need to arrange the gauges for these bikes to display on our main screen the way we'd like them. To do this, we'll click on the screen configuration. This brings up another empty grid for you to fill in. The good news here is the bike information is carrying over, so you are just choosing placing the bikes numbers on the screen. Rather than an aerial view like the grid configuration, this view is as it will be shown on the screen. The top row is the top row on the screen. The bottom row is the bottom row on the screen. Now, a lot of us have our lowest numbered bikes in the front of the room, but we may not want them at the top of the screen, as this would mean the front row would have to look the highest on the screen, perhaps giving them a neck cramp. If you'd like to flip this so the back row bikes are actually at the top of the screen, just choose that order as you place the bikes on the screen configuration. Once this is complete, just save your work. Back to the grid configuration, we just want to point out that you have the option to disable a bike. This will hide it from the member's booking view as well as on the screen. This might happen when a power meter goes out and you're waiting for a new one. Additionally, remember that if you ever need to replace a power meter, you need to come into this grid, choose the bike number receiving a new power meter, and change the anti-D to match the new power meter. And that's it. Now, once you power up the system and wake up the bikes by pedaling them, the gauges of your bikes will show up on the screen. Keep in mind that the bikes that are not being ridden will not show up on the screen. Happy riding!